So how come the experience of the people becomes an important aspect of our product is, I read somewhere the Henry Ford quote, in the early 1900s. He said that when I had asked somebody that what best next thing you would like, then the response would have been even faster horses, because nobody could think of it that what is the next thing to become. So the needs which are coming, and we are coming to that, form or from that point, and then what we need is the cars are no more the cars; they are an infotainment center for you, right? I'm into the engine bearings, which is, let's say 10 years back, we used to take pride it's the heart of the vehicle in automotive. But nevertheless, our punchline was our heart beats for your engine, right? But that's changed because customer needs change, customer experience change. As they experience more and more things, their demand increased. And even though I'm not able to touch my last customer directly, but somehow I am into it, because now when the automotive is getting designed, nobody's thinking about how strong the engine is, because that's a given thing. How long it should be running, because if you see a vehicle on road VOR, and the very next thing is you get a call from your customer, look, my vehicle is standing, and every next moment there's a Twitter tweet, and then the coming from Mr. Anand Mahindra, how the come my vehicle is standing on the road. So that's the kind of experience through the social media, and the expectation is changing. Now, having said that, the needs are changing. As they experience better things, we get more things, and in order to serve better, now we have an onboard diagnostic. We are sitting at our chair and learning how the vehicle is performing, and then try to improve the experience of a customer. But that's the one aspect of it. The brand also plays a very important role in order to support that experience. As I shared, I took the business from Kirloskar. Kirloskar was very strong into this engine bearing market in the aftermarket. I still sell in the aftermarket, but nobody knows from the Kolben Schmidt or the KSPG. They see me still the Kirloskar. That's the brand loyalty I have. But with the same brand, if I go to the OE customer, they don't want to have Kirloskar brand, because Kirloskar was known for tractors or for the agriculture, the power genset engines. They want to have a high RPM passenger car vehicles things. So they see me as a KSPG, the Kolben Schmidt brand, because they have experience of the quality and the performance of that. So having said that, the needs of the customers, the understanding of the experience which they have, more the experience, more the need comes, and most important, the social media creating that kind of an expectation. And I think it's a combination of all that. And we move from our heartbeats for our engine, we move to passion for technology, and latest we are taking responsibility for the future. We are making the same part. So this benchline itself is good enough to tell us how the expectation and needs have changed and how we have been evolving with that. And I think that's where I see the expectation, the experience is playing the major role, forcing us to change to suit the requirement of the changing market.
So I'll bring in a different perspective. While we are doing so much of research across different industries, we see a $35 trillion shift happening in the industry. So there is a huge impact of old revenue sources getting changed, right? So from what the engine was earlier and what it is today, how the technology is transforming from one point to another. I think some of the generations have seen from the computers to the AI to the wireless and everything out there, right? Feature is one element part of it, but need is what is growing every day for everyone. So from a product or experience perspective, I would say that how things are changing and where does it impact is going to be more important for the coming generations, and where should they invest time and effort in, how AI is going to impact human race, what are the changes that should protect us, what are the changes we should enable, embed into us. I think those are the elements that I foresee to bring in the experience more relevant, because I think features are going to only add and add more. But how that need is going to become more and more real for us and solve our problem statements, that's going to impact our lives, right? So when I said that the new revenue sources which are coming in, what is going off from the current sources, like in hospitality industry I was talking earlier, to say that if the remote patient monitoring is going to be live, are we able to cater more better people across remote geographies? Will the healthcare be available more often? So that changes the way we look at assets, investments, and other things. So how is that making a life better from a product perspective and service perspective is going to change the dynamics. So we would always look at, is that need doing betterment for humanity. And I think that's what we should all focus on from a product and experience perspective. Because while there are a lot of distractions, whether it's Instagram and a lot of other things, but bringing our next generations to reality to say, hey, use AI agents, no worries, but know that there's a real world out there, right? I have kids who play video games at home. I just said, go out there and play out there, right? So I think there are products available or not required, but it becomes a responsibility of the manufacturer, the developer, and everybody to see that how the continuation of the next environment and everything is going to impact the industry overall. So I would say those are my marks on how I see experience and product way forward that people should think about as we are moving ahead.
I'll try to make it short for you, Prof. I think we've all given our experiences. Since I don't represent an industry, I run a firm called Institute of Coaching and Mentoring, and I'm largely into leadership coaching and consulting. So I'm industry agnostic at this point in time. I love what you said that, our kids are playing video games, right? And I was just reading in the newspaper that video games in itself is a $360 billion industry worldwide. I'm sure all of our kids, maybe some of us also play video games, right? And it's an experience in some way. I just want to make 2 quick points. One is that this whole idea of experience economy, where is it really coming from? Couple of things. More disposable income to start with, for sure. More consumer choices, digitization, connectedness, globalization. But most importantly, I think, and I'm sure all of you will agree with me when I say that, the current generation and maybe some part of our generation also started believing in the concept called YOLO. Yeah, you only live once. So we want to have the best of experiences, foregoing the kind of security needs that our generation had. So that's really the underwriter. But most importantly, I think the idea of product industry and service industry, the lines are getting blurred. I love this video by Professor Kiranbir Sani from HBR, who's the head of marketing there. And he says that there's going to be productization of services and servicization of products. And it's such a beautiful blending and bringing together of both the industries. And that's so true, right? Is Nike a shoe company or is Nike a lifestyle company? Yeah. Is HP a computer parts company, or is HP really gives us a complete solution for our digitization needs? So I think I'll rest my case there. It's going to be staying. It's here. And it's for us to improvise on how do we really bring the best of experience to our customers, which really puts the customer at the heart of every strategy that an organization needs to build.
So I think you joined late. So we're discussing the topic, the rising of experience economy, how brands is playing a role in it. So we were just discussing and setting the tone, how to understand this experience economy or conceptualize experience economy. And maybe I think you heard a couple of us, and you can also share your own view on that.
So maybe I'll just give a opening comment before I kind of share and immerse more from the experience from everyone across. So I come from the people industry, but through different industries and where people have operated across, there has been a time where we have been focusing more on what is being sold, why am I here for? Versus the way I'm looking at things which I've moved across now is, what am I going to experience here is how the shift has happened. And that to me has been a stark difference, and where it's either through products, it's through people, more or so for people. I mean, while in the last couple of years, or maybe a little more than that, we have seen how the great resignation has come into play, how the multiple offers, bargaining things have come into play. But I think that was a spike where now things are getting stabilized back, and the focus is coming back to culture. And when coming back to culture, it is all boiling down to one single thing, which is the experience. While I may choose to be operating out of a gig economy, or I may choose to operate out of a full-time employee of an organization, what experience does it leave me with? I'm ready to shell down or shell off some dollars if that gives me in return a better experience to have as an individual, whether for today or for the future. So I think that's where I am seeing very drastic change in the minds of the individuals who are choosing to make a decision, right?